Happy Reference Tuesday, people. Happy Reference Tuesday. How are y'all doing today? I'll get y'all something to drink. We're gonna go back over some stuff that taught in the past. Um, a lot of people um, have been, I don't know, have been sideswiped by what's going on today. And so they cause a lot of anger, a lot of strife in people, a lot of urgency in people. People are scared now. People wonder what the government's gonna do, what Trump gonna do, all of that. But we never worry about what God gonna do, and we never uh, really put it in perspective that all of this that's going on is to happen. It's supposed to happen. It's not something that we should be alarmed by. Jesus said there's going to be wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, there's going to be um, division, strife, envy, malice, all of that. But yet, we act like we just, oh my God. And then we stop being the example of consecration. We stop dedicating ourselves um, to God's service. And we start focusing more on everybody else and what they doing and what they not doing. And it's causing a rift. It's causing a rift in our believing attitude. So now we believe that God has forsaken us. That's the deceiving part. That's how Satan deceives you. Satan is very smart. The Antichrist is going to be very intelligent. And he's going to use fruitopia, peace, and tranquility to get you sucked into what he really wants to do. And that's one world order, one religion. It's going to be one man or woman or one man that's going to have everybody in submission to what he wants to do. And we are in trouble if we're not being the example of consecration. And I'm going to show you an example of what Jesus went through so you can get a better understanding that this stuff is supposed to happen. If it happened to Jesus, it's going to happen to us. Listen to this. The biblical bias of sharing the gospel along the lines established by friendships and intimates is strong. The example of Jesus is instructive. He was known as a friend of sinners. Yet, for that reason, the multitudes heard him gladly. Now, these multitudes heard him gladly because he embraced the sinners, not the evildoers, the sinners. Two different things. Evildoers only do things for evil. Sinners do things because they don't know no better, or they haven't been corrected, exhorted on that issue, or whatever issue they're going through. So go to Matthew. Go to Matthew chapter 16. Now, Matthew chapter 11. Go to Matthew chapter 11, verse 16. It says, but whereunto shall I liken this generation? This is Jesus talking. Jesus denounced unbelief. He denounces that, right? But whereunto shall I liken this generation? Now, let's break that down. The Jews were like stubborn children who would not take part in games or dance, funerals, weddings. They refused every proposition offered by Jesus. They refused every proposition. This generation is the same way when it comes to this generation, always a particular span of life and not of a race of people. It's a span of life, not a race of people. People gonna be people. Races gonna be races. But at the same time, they still the same thing. People. Note the names used of the generation that reject Jesus, such as evil, adulterous, faithless, and perverse people. Now, when it comes down to friends, you can befriend anybody, sinners. But if you befriend evildoers, then you have a problem with being unequally yoked, right? But if y'all don't have the same mission, does it mean that they're evildoers? No, y'all don't have the same mission. That means you might be a part of the gospel, they might be part of the genealogy, or they might be part of not genealogy, but part of the universe. Then that don't mean you can't be friends. It just means that y'all are not like-minded. That's all it is. The the Jews that didn't believe, they were not like-minded, and they was not about the mission, right? They were evildoers. Jesus was not evenly yoked with them. But when it comes to people that sinners that needed help, that needed guidance, that need encouraging, that need inspiration and exhortation, look what they did. It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows. That means their friends. Let's read verse 16 over. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellow friends, and saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. People are not going to ride with you just because of what you do. They're going to have some type of agenda. And that don't mean that they're going to always misuse you. It just means that when that agenda is over, and all is said and done, they move on because they got what they wanted or they didn't get what they wanted. So, do you be upset about it? Yeah, you're going to be upset. Did it hurt you? Yeah, it probably did. But at the end of the day, what are you doing it for? We are set up in this world to be hurt, to go through pain, to go through turmoil, to go through strife, to go through a lot of stuff. It's to make us stronger, not to hurt us, but to make us stronger. Verse 18, it says, For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they said, He has the devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom justified of her children. Let's break that down. Let's break that down. John abstained from all social life. He didn't deal with social life. Not once is it recorded that he was entertained like Jesus frequently was. He was not entertained like Jesus frequently was. John the Baptist, now this is who we're talking about. He lived a separate life, and you would not receive him. I came accepting invitations to eat, and you call me a winebagger and a glutton, and you reject me. Now, whether you come and be of everybody's face and in everybody's face and everybody flock to you, or rather you distance yourself from them, that don't mean they're gonna receive you. It doesn't mean that. But we think it does. And so we put forth an effort to befriend people that's not like-minded with you. And then what happens is you end up getting hurt. You end up getting hurt. This is not about drama. This is about having a spiritual mindset to be consecrated, to show an example of being consecrated. That means show an example of the dedication to God's service. You got to keep moving on, whether you're in pain, whether you're hurting, whether whatever. You got to keep doing God's will. And if you find a friend in the gospel, so be it. If you don't, so be it. They rejected Jesus. They rejected John the Baptist. So they called Jesus a glutton. His enemies said this of him, but there is no evidence that he was an alcoholic in eating and drinking, that he was addicted to this stuff. Now, people gonna say this, people gonna say that, people gonna have this to say about you. So what? You know, you're gonna lose people. It is what it is. Jesus lost a lot of people. He lost Judas, the bishop. He was one of the disciples. But one thing about it, he played a very important role, and Jesus had to be among them. He had to show, Jesus had to show us betrayal. He had to show us the example of betrayal. You're gonna get betrayed. You're gonna be put out there. You're gonna be slid under the bus only because of their selfish acts on how they feel they should do and what should they get out of it. People got an agenda, and you must know that. It doesn't mean that you should be just very suspicious of people. It just means you need to be on guard. You need to be on guard with friends and family. You got to be. In this day and age, friend will be against friend. I'll show you. I'll show you here in a minute. So, uh, so we have to use wisdom. Wisdom has seen fit to justify both courses taken by John and Jesus. But you hypocrites condemn them. You would condemn any course taken by any godly man, for you seek to justify your acts of darkness and rejection of the truth. People do not like the truth. People do not like the truth. And when you tell them the truth, they gonna be in their feelings. There's nothing you can do about it. Um, People do not want to see your perspective. Some people. Some people, when they have an agenda, they don't want to see your perspective of things. They don't want to see you saying, "Oh, hey, you shouldn't have did that. It don't go like that. We're friends, blah, blah, blah." And they would try to, um, most sometimes they would try to justify the wrong that they did to make sure that you stay their friend or stay in a circle. Like I said, I didn't want to teach this, but this is something I've been through. Do I hate the person? Do I not want to talk to the person? Uh, I don't hate them. Do I not want to talk to them? Probably not, but I will, because it's not about that. It's about making sure they get salvation through all of it, right? And the reason why you should guard yourself, the reason why you should not look at this like, I can't believe it. This is supposed to happen. And that fourth seal, that fourth that in that second seal, we're talking about the red horse. Uh the second seal is the thunder and imperious of a red horse and its rider. Who is this rider? He is the rider who has power to take peace from the earth so that men will kill each other. He is the rider who is given a great sword. He is the rider of strife, violence, of assault, division, abuse, evil, anger, hate, uprising, murder, insurrection, war, and bloodshed. He is the rider who divides race against race, class against class, neighbor against neighbor, employee against employer, um, husband against wife, religion against religion, and nation against nation. He is the rider who takes peace from the earth and causes every kind of division he can. He is the rider who destroys every human relationship that he can. And we tripping. We worried about this and that. We worried about why a person does what they do. They do what they do because it's designed to be done. It's designed to be done. So we got to accept that. That's why you have to be on guard. That's why you have to have the full armor of God. Will it affect you? Yeah, it's going to affect you. Yeah, it's going to hurt you. It's going to make you feel a certain type of way. But at the end, you got to know this is supposed to happen. And you got to take that in. It may take you a while to move on, but I want you to know you can move on. You can live after this. Okay. I want you to know that you're gonna be okay. You it's just like a death when a friend or a marriage, well, I say relationship, any kind of relationship separates. It's a death. You're never gonna see them the way they see you. They never gonna see you the way they see themselves. So you're never gonna see them again. Just is what it is. So look, people, be the example of consecration. Always dedicate yourself to God's service, and you can move on. You can live after separation or after the relationship death. It's gonna be all right, people. It's designed to be this way. It's designed to be this way. Just dedicate yourself to God's service. Look, people. I love y'all. I love the way the Bible flows the way it does. It's to show us that God is still in control. So may the grace and the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Amen.